Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushai, Bashim, Harakakodash. God bless our apostles and elders and great ministers, citation, men and brethren. Do this work in sincerity and in truth. It's going to life to do so because spoken on the planet Earth. Right? We are the Hebrew Israelites, right? Great Millstone branch of Trinidad and Tobago. Out here to prophesy the downfall of Babylon, aka America. Right? Babylon the Great, aka America. Another week. Right? Because the Lord said what in these last days He's going to send forth His servants and prophets, and your eyes shall see your teachers, right? What your teacher's going to do, your teacher's going to feed you with wisdom and with knowledge, right? This is Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 5, verse I will start at verse a matter of fact, before I even go to Jeremiah, I'm going to start at 2 Chronicles chapter 15 and verse 4. But when they in their trouble, matter of fact, let me read a little higher up. Second Chronicles chapter 15, verse 1. And the Spirit of God came unto Azariah, the son of Oded, and he went out to meet Asa, and said unto him, Hear ye me, Asa, and all Judah, and Benjamin, right? The Lord is with you, while ye be with him. Right, so Yahweh Shem Yahushai is with you while He be with him. Right, that's the God of heaven and earth. That's the powers of Israel. Right. But many of these, you have these churches all out here. You have these mosques. You have these mandares. Right, and all of them claim to be serving a God, a power. Right, they claim to be serving a power. They claim to be serving the power of heaven and earth. Right, but the power of heaven and earth say what? These people, they honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me, right? Their heart is far from me, meaning their minds, their spirit is far from me, right? Because Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right? This is Psalms chapter 7, right? This is Psalms chapter 7. And we're going to read verse We're going to read verse 8 and 9. The Lord shall judge the people. Judge me, O Yahweh, according to my righteousness, according to my integrity that is in me. Right? So how are you going to judge your integrity? You're going to judge the spirit of the person, right? You know? Your integrity is what stands out. You know, they say what? A good name is what? It's better than a precious ointment. You know? I don't want to put the camera here. I stand too far from our grasp. If I can get this small on the screen. Right. A good name is better than you can bring it out? Yeah, a good name is better than a precious ointment. Right? You know? And what Yahweh Shem Yahushai did, He said He put His word above His name. Because His name is good for it. Because of His name, who He is. He's the Redeemer, right? He shed His blood for the nation of Israel. He brought back Israel unto the Lord. Now the Lord is not turning, His back is no longer turned to us. Right? Because when your back is turned to somebody, that's what disrespect, right? You talking to me and my back is turned to you. That is a disrespect. Right? You disrespected the Lord first. You disrespected the Heavenly Father first as a nation. Right? So He disrespected you by turning His back. Right? That's why you're in this low state. That's why you're being afflicted and these plagues are upon you. Go ahead, huh?
It's Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 1. It says a good name is better than precious ointment.
A good name is better than precious ointment. So what? Yahweh Shai's name. Right? Yahweh Shai's name is what? He deliverer, He savior. Right? His name is good for it. Go ahead.
It says, and the day of death is the day of one's birth.
And a day of death better than the day of one's birth. Right? And who died for us? Yahweh Shai. Give me Acts chapter 5. Right? When Stephen, what Stephen did? Stephen was stoned to death by his what? Integrity. Which we just read in Psalm chapter 7 verse 8. The Lord shall judge the people. Judge me, O Yahweh, to my righteousness and according to my integrity that is in me. Right? So Stephen showed integrity up to his death. Right? Give me Acts chapter 5 when Stephen was stoned. That's what? Verse Acts chapter 7, so that's right, and start at verse start at verse 47. Start at verse 47.
Right. Acts 7 and verse 47, it says, but Solomon built him an house.
Solomon built him a house, go ahead.
It says, howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands.
Right, the Most High dwell not in temples made with hands, because what? We have the Church of the Nazarene there that only has Sunday services from 7:30 a.m. to 9:45. We out here right through. There's a field, but we come out, we was out here through the whole pandemic. Right? We still underneath a so-called SOE, state of emergency. Right? Today they said what they announced that from Monday coming is what? They push it back 1 hour from instead of the curfew started at 8 p.m. it started at what? 10. Right? From 10 to what? 5 a.m. They're on their BS, it doesn't matter. But what I can tell you, as the regulations change, when it said, well, come down to 10 people, we was here. Come down to 5 people, we was here. Come down to 3 people, we was here. They won't. They only come out on Sunday. Sunday service is what? The worship was what? Satan or the sun. Right? So we see the spirit, we see the integrity of these people. Right? So they mean to say that you can only serve the Lord on one day, but you're living 600 days out of the 7-day week. That doesn't make no sense. Your whole philosophy and doctrine is nonsensical. Right? Your people are faithless. They should say, when I come, I'm going to find faith on earth. Faith has to go alongside with what? Truth. The Lord said, well, He's a spirit, and He wishes such and one to worship Him in spirit and in truth. The words I speak unto you, they're what? Spirit, and they're what? Life. Go ahead.
Lord, verse 49 says, heaven is my throne and earth is my footstool. What house will ye build me? What house will ye build me?
Because the house of the Lord here is at the river. 1 Corinthians 3 and 16 and 6 and 19. Right? Because the house of the Lord, you can have Revelation 21 and verse 3. Right? Yeah, man. Right? Because they're going to get fed here.
Revelation chapter 21 and verse 3. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai is with men.
Is with who?
Is with men.
Right, well, his tabernacle is home. Right?
That's right.
The home of the Most High is with men. Go ahead.
And He will dwell with them, and they shall be His people.
They shall be His what?
His people. And Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Himself shall be with them and be their God.
Yeah, because the Lord said what? In the place where you were called not my people, He shall be called my people. Right? Bring it out. Hosea 1:10.
Book of Hosea, chapter 1 and verse 10, it says, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured, nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people.
Ye are not my people. So what? Here in Israel, in America, in Trinidad, in Jamaica, in Barbados, in Peru, in South America, you are called what? All proverbs and bywords, Negroes, niggers, pigs. After the islands and countries that you were born. You're not called Israelites. You're not called Hebrew Israelites. You're not called the children of Israel. Right? Go ahead.
It says, yea, it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai.
Ye are the sons of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. Right? So read over the scripture before.
Alright, going back to the book of Acts.
Yeah. You go ahead. Just go ahead. Yeah. 19. Yeah, come.
There's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 19.
Come on.
What? Knowing not that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, we is the temple of the Holy Spirit. Right? Go ahead.
Which is in you, which ye have of Yahweh, and ye are not your own. For ye are bought with a price. Therefore, glorify Yahweh Hashem Yahushai in your body.
Glorify Yahweh Hashem Yahushai in your body.
And in your spirit, which are Yahweh powers.
Which are Yahweh powers. This is Isaiah 8 and 13. Well, that's what you come and start. Right? It says, sanctify Yahweh of hosts, and let him be your fear, and let him be your dread. And he shall be for a sanctuary, a tabernacle, a temple, right? And he shall be for a sanctuary, but for a stone of stumbling and a rock of offense to both the houses of Israel, and for a gin and for a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. You see, so what? Hey, when we see the other camps can't get it. They don't know what the mark of the beast is. When you see Jake around the world, Christians can't get it because they're in a different philosophy, a different spirit. Because they were taught during and post-slavery that God is all love and he's a so-called Edomite. Because that image, that iconoclasm, right, was branded, stamped, and imprinted in mind. Right? That's why it's offense when he had the signs on the ground. Stamp on that Diablo. Stamp on that devil. They can't even stamp on the devil. You see? They can't stamp on the devil because in the spirit they will get the cut. You know, because they believe that that devil is a god. Right? But the God of heaven and earth, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, they are melanated entities.
That's right.
Alright? Yahweh has a body. Right? He has a body in a heavenly realm. You know, it's described. Yahushai said what? When they see me, you see the Father. Talking about his spiritual attributes as well. You know?
Yeah, please, on that one.
Go ahead.
It's 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 40. It says here, there are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial.
Go ahead.
But the glory of the celestial is one.
The glory of the who?
Celestial is one.
Right, so the celestial is of the stars. The glory of the body of the stars is one. Go ahead.
And the glory of the terrestrial is another.
Yeah, because that body out there, that out there in the heavens, can dwell amongst the Shemayim. Right? This body that we have here can't dwell amongst the Shemayim. You know? That's why in the moment, Corinthians 15 says what in that moment. Go ahead.
15, it goes jumping down to
yeah, this is one of the promises because Yahweh Hashem Yahushai left us many promises. This is one of the promises left to the saints of who? Israel. One of the things that Esau is jealous of, envious of. They wish they had the ability to get what? Spiritual power. To be. Yeah? Because when they watch them cartoons, when they watch them superhero cartoons, right? Who they bigging up? Who they big up to be the brightest and the best? The rich man. But the scripture talk about the rich man and Lazarus.
That's right.
Right? And at this time on who's Lazarus? We represent Lazarus. Right? But they're going to represent Lazarus, begging for you to dip your finger, right? To be to dip that finger in that water that they may drink to quench your thirst. Right? Go ahead.
It says here, 1 Corinthians chapter 15.
Yeah, because slavery coming hard to you. Oppression coming hard to you, double time. That's it, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Right, Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Bashumu Kakadash Brakatak, yeah. Go ahead.
1 Corinthians 15 and 51.
Go ahead.
Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall be changed.
We shall be changed. We're going to be changed into that body to dwell in the heavens, to be amongst the stars, to be in the celestial realm, in the third and fourth dimension. Right? To be in what the chariots. To be able to go at hyper speed. If chariots they go through dimensions. And they stop on a dime. They change directions. Right? They change, they rotate, they do all these different manner of tricks and things in the heavens. Right? Well,
I'm going to say scripture say that flesh and blood shall not inherit the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is a new body, you know? That's right. Right?
Right now the scripture says what in Romans, it says, be renewed in the thinking of your mind. Alright? And that's what these Christians and these other philosophies don't have. Christianity and these other philosophies don't have the truth. They don't have that renewed in thinking of their mind. That's why here, no, they cramp. They cramp and they're making wrong judgment. Right? They're going to Pharaoh, right? They're going to Pharaoh for help. They're going to Egypt for help. Because they're not renewed. Because from the beginning, Yahushua said what? Be renewed in the thinking of your mind. He said what? No, he said
Romans chapter 12?
No, not in Romans. So like yeah, something like read it.
52. Corinthians 15 and 52, in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall rise incorruptible, and we shall have been changed.
We should have been changed. The Lord said, come unto me, unless you come unto me as a little child. You know? And no man can be my disciple. Having that discipline to seek out that knowledge and to come as a child and to be renewed, to be chastened and to come back. To be chastened and to come back. To make mistakes, get corrected, and bow down and come back. Because that's what a child does. We make mistakes, we in the flesh. We ain't right. The scripture say what? Yeah, they not a whole, need not a position. You see? A crown. The scripture said, go ahead, continue to read, but I quoted just now, continue to read.
It says here, for this in verse 53, reading on in 1 Corinthians 15 and 53.
What?
For this corruptible,
this body here is subject to spirits to come and corrupt, to ruin, to spoil. When they read it in the Apocrypha, it says, the Lord, when a man please the Lord, right, the Lord will take him away before he even be corrupted by the world. You go ahead and look for that piece of bread.
It says, for this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. You know, it goes on to say, so when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, that is swallowed up in victory. And you know, this is a moment of high anticipation for the elect. We anticipate this moment more than anything else when we see our Lord come and we dwelling in righteousness with Him. This is a day that we longing for. You know, He not with us. John's disciples asked him, why do your disciples do not fast? And Yahweh shall tell him, we need to be back with our Lord. You know, that is our supplication day and night. That the Heavenly Father bring this system as screeching halt, and righteousness be exalted. What are they that shall be? You know, verse 55, oh death, where is thy sting? And oh grave, where is thy victory? Because grave no longer gonna have power over those bodies. We're gonna be able to live. We're gonna be able to live on and on and on. See our children born and make children, and their children born and make children, and we're just gonna live an eternal existence of righteousness. You know, hey, but fruits in season, you'll be able to walk by a fruit tree and eat off that fruit and feel the literal electricity running through your body. When you breathe air, your age going to be life. Right now, when you're aging, is that you're synchronizing with right now with age. But in the kingdom, when you receive them bodies, your age going to be synchronizing with life. The more you get old, the more you're going to live. That's right. The more you're going to shine. The more you're going to be exalted as an ancient one. In the kingdom of the Creator. These things is what we long for. You know, we give up all the earthly lusts. Because Paul said in Romans chapter 7, he said, for this flesh wrought in me all manner of conceptions. If I pronounce the word correct for lack of better pronunciation. You know it is? Romans 7, right? Romans 7 and
I see another law.
Right.
This is Romans 7 and start at verse 22. I delight in the law.
Go chapter, go back up to verse 8.
Verse 8, right, this is Romans 7 and verse 8, it says, but sin, taking occasion by the commandment, wrought in me all manner of
concupiscences, right? Yeah, concupiscence. Yeah, concupiscence. Right? Concupiscence.
It says concupiscence, for without the law, sin was dead.
And that word concupiscence goes into cravings and desires. So you see, lust. So this flesh, we set aside that to the bare minimal. That is our war we just fight. And we win into Yahweh because we already win the war. It's just some little battles that we just have to go through. When we sink ourselves in the spirit, we just realize it's just but time. And once you overcome, Yahweh Shai done win the battle. So when you're going through wherever you're going through, these things sometimes the flesh just hide it to the back of your head. When you remember it and you bring it forward, you just end up getting through whatever little battle.
Should just say the contemptible body, press it down on the mind. And the mind muse it upon all things, and the word muse I think means a wonder. You should just think upon.
Get the piece of that?
Go ahead.
This is the book of Philippians, because the brother was saying that the desire that he had God to return, that Yahweh shall return and redeem us, buy us back, save us ultimately from this wicked place and change our bodies. Alright? Alright, it says in Philippians 3 and verse 20, it says for our conversation is in heaven. And then go into that word conversation, it says citizenship also. Alright, our citizenship is in heaven and heaven is rulership.
As in talk, right? This is just precept with that precept. This is Ecclesiasticus 16 and 4. For by one that had understanding shall the city be replenished, but the kindred of the wicked shall speedily become desolate. So if the conversation is in heaven, what it will bring? What it will be that conversation of understanding, right? Right, and the city will be what replenished. You understand? Because the scripture First Samuel chapter 2, right, and verse 6. First Samuel 2 and 6.
Yeah.
Everything comes. Yeah.
This is the book of First Samuel chapter 2 verse 6. It says, the Lord killeth and make it alive.
He kill it and he make it alive. Who was killed? We were killed. As a nation, we were killed. We were brought down. Go ahead.
He bringeth down.
We were the slave ships. Yeah. Go ahead.
He bringeth down to the grave.
Right, he bring it down to the grave. Go ahead.
And bring it up.
Go ahead, continue.
The Lord make it poor and make it rich.
Who the poor? They call us the poor in Revelations. Right? It's Psalms. We the poor. Right? And he make it what? Rich.
Yeah. He bring it low and lift it up.
Psalm 73 tells you the rich are those that what? That prosper in the world. Or the wicked. Psalm 73 and 12. You know, the Lord do it. The Lord do it. Right? They want to say Satan do it in Christianity. Right? The philosophy of the world is that there's an evil entity. Yeah. There's an evil entity. Right? There's an evil entity called Satan, and he's the one that doing wickedness in the earth. He's the one that is responsible for all the deaths because of the plagues. No, Yahweh Shai, he foretold you that if you didn't acknowledge him and turn back to him, you're going to be plagued. The pestilences and plagues will come. You see?
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 5 and 6 and 7. It says, I am the Lord, Yahweh Shai, there is none else. There is no power beside me. I girded thee, thou hast not known me. You know, and if I may say, a girdle is something that is used to hold up a pants. So the most I say, he girded all the affairs of man, even self don't know him, or the conscious of he is the one pulling the strings or holding up their affairs, he doing it. Verse 6, that they may know from the rising of the sun, from the west, that there is none beside me. I am the Lord, there is none else. I form the light, I create darkness, I make peace, I create evil. I, the Lord God, do all these things.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 16 verse 11. And if there be one stiff neck among the people, it is a marvel if he escape unpunished. For mercy and wrath are with him. He is mighty to forgive and to pour out displeasure. You see? So that's the glory of Yahweh Shai. Knowledge, to know him. Knowledge is also part of his glory. You know? I want you to I want to get 2 Chronicles chapter chapter 15, and we started at verse 1. Right, after our Christian.
Right. So it says that we know the knowledge of the Most High.
Come on.
Which is a good thing. It says, real quick in the book of Baruch. Right, it's Baruch 4. Right. Baruch 4 and verse 4 says, O Israel, happy are we for things that are pleasing to Yahweh by Hashem Yoshai, made known unto us. It's pleasing to the Most High, for his law, statutes, and commandments, also known his judgments. The scripture I say in Psalms 147, right, or 149 and 18, he says, surely his word and his judgment is to Jacob, and the Israelites is chosen. Right? It's pleasing to the Most High, we know this.
This is Sirach 16, right? And verse 20 and verse 23. He that wanted understanding will think upon vain things, and a foolish man erring imagineth follies. It says, my son, hearken unto me and learn knowledge, and mark my words with thy heart. I will shew forth doctrine in weight, and declare his knowledge exactly. The works of Yahweh are done in judgment from the beginning, and from the time he made them, he disposed the parts thereof. And that's Psalms 9 and 16. Somebody get that real quick. Psalms 9 and 16. Right? The words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is known in judgment. So if he's going to bring judgment, that means, right? Because judgment's going into what? Making a decision, discriminating, right? Discerning. Right? You have to discern right from wrong, black from white, night from day, light from darkness. That is judgment. And also judgment can go into what? A penalty that you have to pay according to what? According to what? If you transgress a law. You see? So the Lord said he will be known by what? Judgment. Go ahead.
It says Psalms chapter 9 verse 16. The Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yoshai is known by the judgment which he executed.
Well, which he executed. You see? So it's not Satan executing nothing. Satan is just a vessel. Right? The spiritual demon working toward the physical entity Esau and Edom. Because he's the wicked on the earth. When you look up, wicked is what? The guilty one. The criminal. Crime. Guilty of a sin. You understand? Crimson. It goes back to who? Satan. Wicked. You understand? The thief. Yeah, the thief. What? That's one of the things that's one of the things that he's going to be judged for stealing a man. You know? Moving away the landmark. What?
It says the wicked is snared in the work of his own hands.
The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Yeah. It says Sirach 16 and 27. I'll read 26 again. The works of the Lord are done in judgment from the beginning, and from the time he made them, he disposed of the parts thereof. He garnished his works forever, and in his hands are the chief of them unto the generations. They neither labor nor are weary, nor cease from their works. None of them hindereth another, and they shall never disobey his word. You see? Because in the beginning, what? He made light, he made day and night, he made light and he made darkness and light, he made the sun and the moon and the stars, and none of them disobeyed. All of them continuing in the ordinances. And he also made what? Man last, Adam. You know, man, because he made the other nations, right? But he called them what? Beasts, right? He called them creatures. Right? And he made Adam, which was man, last. Why is man? Because he's upright. He has what? The laws. He had not dealt with any other nation. Because the first Adam was who? Yahweh Shai. Who was up there? He spoke Yahweh Shai into existence. He was up there in the spiritual realm. You understand? Then he put him in the flesh. You see, man? Right? When he put him in his flesh, right? In Genesis chapter 5, through Seth, and the generation, right, the beginning, right, men began to call upon what? The name of the Lord. Because they were what? The so-called what? The so-called what? Giants, renowned men. What they call them? Nephilim and all that? No. They were the angels that fell. They were up there with Yahweh creating this beautiful planet that Esau has now destroyed. Right? But they were giant, they were renowned. Right? Right. It's like they were gods. They were gods amongst these nations. They were powerful. Adam himself was powerful. You know? What?
2 Peter chapter 2 verse 4. For if Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell.
He cast them down to hell. Hell is what? Sheol. Right? Hell has two meanings in the Bible, right? In the Hebrew, sorry. Sheol, right? And Gehenna, right? In the Greek, they call it Inferno. And I forget the next name, right? But
Tartarus.
Huh? So what? Tartarus. Hell.
Yeah, I think I one of the expressions
in the Greek, right? Yeah. You know, but Sheol means what? The earth, the grave. You know, the scripture say hell is never filled. If all the bodies on earth die, right?
Cannot be satisfied.
The earth can't be. Yeah, it will swallow them up.
God.
You know.
Yeah.
They still can't. All the billions of people that Esau trying to make you believe through their lies and propaganda, the planet overpopulated and climate change and all that BS, right? Right? That's BS. That's what it is. It's BS.
That's right.
You know, you're gonna melt the polar ice caps because too much high CO2. So the scripture said that the wicked is straight from the womb. As soon as he is born, somebody bring it out Baba Kosha. Yeah. And this is what we're fighting against. The scripture said we're not fighting against flesh and blood, but principalities and powers, rulers of the people, rulers of darkness, or the people who in high places, roughly paraphrasing. Right? Esau and Edom, the bankers. They rule in the world. They set up a few men to look like the front men. Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Bill Snakes, right? But them is just devils. Right? Them don't own shit. Them is just lesser luminaries. The real devils is the bankers. What?
Psalms 58 and verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb.
Hey, the wicked are estranged from the womb. Go to Psalm 73 verse 12, Baba Kosha. Right? The wicked are estranged from the womb. They're separated, right? They're separated. So let's go back to what? Give me Genesis 25 and 25, Baba Kosha, real quick. But you go ahead.
Psalm 73 and verse 12. Behold, these are the ungodly.
These are who?
These are the ungodly.
No, I bring out this scripture because the word ungodly here is Rasha. Rasha, which is the same word for wicked in Job 9:24. And what does that mean? Guilty one, guilty of a crime, right? The wicked, right? So what you just read in Psalm 58?
Psalm 58 says the wicked. It says the wicked are estranged from the womb.
Go ahead. Psalm 73
verse 12. Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world.
These are the wicked. Read it on the next translation. It will say these are the wicked who prosper in the world. Go ahead. How this was going to come? Line upon line, line upon line, precept upon precept, precept upon precept. Here a little, there a little, with stammering lips and what? Stuttering tongues. What? Right? They prosper in the world.
They increase in riches.
They increase in what?
Riches.
All fossil fuels to stop. Electric generation from fossil fuel, from burning fossil fuels must cease. No, in the next 10 years they want to reach zero carbon emission. Right? So what they plan to do? They plan to do away with one trade via ship. They want to come and they want to bring trains. They want to bring back out Amtrak in a big way. Right? Right, trains. Literally trains. No, I haven't reached the research that I'm doing. I haven't reached how they're going to do international trade. They want to do away with planes burning fossil fuels. They want to make the fuel from the planes from plant-based, animal fats, and from garbage. That's what they want to use to run the planes, right? They want to have trains in the internal working of Babylon the Great America. Right? They want to do away with all trucking, wind farms, and solar farms. Right? This is what the devil's plan. But the Most High is going to spoil the plans.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Go ahead.
That goes on to say.
And what I'll ask you for? Genesis 25. Give me the Genesis 25. You come back to the whole lot.
This the book of Genesis chapter 25 verse 25. It says, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment.
Like a hairy garment. Go ahead.
And they call his name Esau.
They call his name Esau. Go ahead.
And after that came his brother out, and his hand took help on Esau's heel.
On Esau's heel.
And his name was called Jacob.
And his name was called Jacob. The wicked are what? Estranged from the womb. Right? That's who Esau. He came out first, but what Jacob's hand held first, Esau's heel. So get up for me in 2nd Ezra chapter 6.
Let me say, we need the time, the same time, because his name is wasted away.
Wasted away is he. But that goes into the description of his body, because what? That leprosy is what? He was like a baby born, stillborn. Right? Because what you do, even a Jake baby. But what you used to do, what we do as Jake, we come out and we give them the first morning sun. And I help bring in the mineral. I bring in the vitamin D, and bring in the mineral. And they get darker and they get darker over time. Right? They start to soak up that energy. You understand?
It's like the spirit, you know? Yeah. They should just say the spirit is not upright.
Can't.
That's like when he was king.
And what upright mean? To be righteous, that's that. Right? They wasn't created for that. But we also have through the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai, the understanding of Yahweh Shemel Shai, what he would do to show that he's wicked. You understand? And that's what you're reading there. Right? Give me the 2nd Ezra and then you'll go back there.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 6, we are reading from verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born. When Jacob and Esau was born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, for Esau is the head of the
Esau pulls spiritually, Jacob pulling Esau down from his rulership. Right? He's been pulled down through us. The true men of the Lord. Abaratas are we of the elect, because we speak in the doctrine in spirit and in truth. That's right. We bring in the understanding. Alright? This is Ecclesiastical chapter 3 of the earth. Not knowledge the Lord had divided them. Just what? Or divide. Right? In much knowledge. So what was the separating factor? Knowledge. Give me 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 3. 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 3.
This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 3. Talk no more exceedingly proud, let not arrogancy come off thy mouth. Come out of your mouth, for the Lord is a power of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed.
Speak a little.
God. So the Most High about the does weigh. Say not like man, going back on his word. He is a man of real integrity. And you know, some years ago I do a video dealing with one of them so-called Jewish rabbis and them, and he was saying in Hebrew, right, it have no such thing as something, anything like fear. I agree that at the end of this business, I gonna pay you $1 million. It have to be that once the business complete. And if you ain't do that, it's not like, well, there's no fear so long slavery done. All you have to forgive we. Where is the reparation? They sell out their own self. But you see those who don't have the understanding, they won't understand what he was talking about.
If he promised Abraham it can never be for his own for eternity.
Exactly.
So Esau making plans that are null and void.
God.
Read over 1 Samuel 2 verse 3, Baba Kasha.
1 Samuel 2 verse 3. Talk no more exceedingly proudly. Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth. For the Lord Yahweh Shemeshai is a power of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed.
Them actions is what? Judgment. Because when they go lower down, in verse 6, it tells you the different judgment. He make it poor, he make it rich, he kill it, he make it alive. To be alive is to be revived. Another word for alive is to revive. Right? Transgressing the law. You see?
Just to back up the brothers. Alright? Because it's the knowledge of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai says, for my thoughts are not your thoughts. Neither are your ways my ways, say Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. See, the way how the Most High go do things is not how you go do it. It's not how you go imagine to even think. Right? So big brother say, if the Most High say, the goal is for Jacob, it's going to be for Jacob. If you say going back into slavery, say, wait, but the Most High dread what? Dread or no? But that is his thoughts.
He is dread. Terrible demon like power. But one, which is that wisdom we're speaking about, she can do all things and remaining in herself. She make it all things new. We renew. Be renewed in the thinking of your mind. Yeah, we knew. And in all ages entering into holy souls, separate souls. We separate from the world. Abaratiza. You see? Right? Or we desire to be holy. We desire to be separate in all humility. We're not trying to give ourselves any praise that we're not worthy of. Right? So in all humility, the men of the Lord, the elect, would be holy. Right? It says, she maketh them friends of the Most High and prophets. For the Most High loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom.
Woo. That's right.
Yeah.
You understanding?
Yeah.
Balance.
You know, if I may reflect quick on something, earlier on you were saying that the sun and the moon, all them things obey the Most High. Order from of the creator that have understanding with it. Understanding it, that is why we coming back to understand.
And there's a precept as well. There's the Surah 42 verse 25. One thing establishing the good of another, and who shall be filled with the beholding of his glory. So to be filled with the beholding of his glory is to have understanding. Look what he's saying in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 8. Right? Wisdom of Solomon chapter 8. He said, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 8 verse 21. Nevertheless, when I perceived that I could not otherwise obtain her, which is wisdom, except God gave her me. John 3:27, a man can't receive nothing unless it be given to him from heaven. Right? It says, and that was a point of wisdom, also to know whose gift she was. I prayed unto the Lord, and I besought him, and with my whole heart I said, and goes into the prayer. So you see, to know whose gift she was a point of wisdom. So that's to be able to perceive, to understand, for it to come to a cognition. You understand? That's why the scripture said to meditate upon these things. I think that's Surah 39. This is Surah 17 and 24. But unto them that repent, he granted them return and comfort those that failed in patience. Right? Because sometimes we're going to go off and we're going to suffer. You see? Why are we going to suffer? We're going to suffer. Appreciate it. What you're going to do, you're going to treat it with contempt. You're going to treat it with you're going to treat it not with contempt, you're going to treat it lightly. So light, when the scripture say lightly esteem, the scripture say cast not light. Anybody that casts light before his parents, father and mother, right? They shall be put to death. Read Deuteronomy 37:27, Baba Kasha. 27. Offline. Alright, go ahead. You have one?
37 now?
27.
It's Deuteronomy 37.
I don't.
Deuteronomy?
Yeah, 37. 20, yeah. 37, 27. No. 27, sorry. 27, 37. Try that.
Deuteronomy chapter 27, verse 24.
Right. Well, try 17. Try 17 and see what it says.
Verse 17.
Yeah.
Verse 17, it says, Cursed be he that removed.
Sorry. That's what they are about Shimon.
It says, Cursed be he that seeth, that setteth light.
That what?
That setteth light.
That right. Yeah, so look it up. New phone. So what they are about Shimon. You understand? Not to be watching that porn. I cut it myself too, but yeah. Yeah, we gotta be honest, we gotta be honest with ourselves. We gotta cut them spirits out. That's what we just read. What just read? It says when they what? Oh, yeah, you go ahead.
Right, reading on back in Deuteronomy chapter 27 and verse 16, it says, Cursed be he that setteth light.
See what?
That setteth light.
That setteth light.
And into the word. It says, disgrace.
That what?
It says to the
What's the Hebrew word? Call the word and number.
Hebrew word 8:17-34. It says, for Allah.
To what?
To disgrace.
To disgrace. Go ahead.
To dishonor.
To dishonor.
Be lightly esteemed.
To be lightly esteemed. So you're disgracing or dishonoring and be lightly esteemed to your mother or your father. Or for the father first and then your mother. Right? Or you can say mother because what really and truly the men wouldn't really deal. They will deal with their sons, right? But when they reach up age, you know, there's a kind of thing that you call the ship. They say coconut thy child, which you know they have them loving up and all that kind of stuff. That's something of this world. We don't really do that. In the antiquities, we always do that. We are hard men, but so that's why I say that's for the mother and father part because the mothers used to deal, but they would have been the order of the father, so they would have been in order, and the order would have been passed from mother to child. Right? Until his son reached up age and then he would come up underneath his father. Yahweh was underneath his father Joseph, who was a carpenter, so Yahweh was a carpenter by trade. But
it says like he has seemed to be dishonored.
So what?
To be dishonored.
To be dishonored. And that's what Israel do. Israel dishonor Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. You see? That was the transgression. Right? So what you say? What?
To be dishonored, to be despised.
To be despised.
Be dishonored, to be despised, to be lightly esteemed.
So what's going to happen to Sakari? What's going to happen to I think it's Tazaria came up underneath Great Millstone. Either Tazaria or Daniel. Yeah, I think it was Tazaria.
Guy from Sakari.
Yeah. They came out from GMS. Tazaria came out from GMS as well, if I'm not mistaken. Right? The scripture says, obey them that have rule over you. They didn't want to obey, so they went out and do their own thing. Sakari went and do their own thing, right? Wi-Fi, or I say Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi, whatever it is, cold cuts, right? Camp hopping, but part of the doctrine is out of Great Millstone, right? They have different. They had Israel tried and refined. ITR tried and refined. Where they at now? The scripture say, go back out and read the scripture.
That is it from the top. It says, cursed.
It
says, cursed. He that set light by his father or his mother.
Yeah, this is right? Ultimately, who you can't, sorry, how you say that you love me, who you see not, and you don't love your brother, who you see. You see? They don't see the prophets in the apostles and the elders and the men of Great Millstone. They see men. They lightly esteem them. So the Most High cursed them. It's just that time before that curse be fulfilled. Just like how the Most High cursed Cain. But that curse came in the regeneration, reincarnation as what? Esau and Edom. Right. And then what? The judgment. We was talking about judgment. The judgment of the curse is going to be fulfilled, which is Isaiah 34 and 5. Read that real quick. You can pull it up on your phone.
Verse 5, right?
Yeah, Isaiah 34 verse 5. Let's hear about that. That's where the judgment is going to be fulfilled.
Shall be bathed in heaven.
It shall be bathed in heaven. So Esau's heaven is what? Jacob's hell. When Esau rich, Jacob poor. Go ahead.
And it's beaten, eh? It says, behold, it shall come down.
No, at the end of the day, you make that statement when it's we turn or our turn, the Israelites, right? No, the Lord, that's why the Lord there's gonna be there's gonna be levels to this thing. All Israel gonna be on top, but the elect gonna have them spiritual powers. And we appear. Because what? They are worthy of it. They would have suffered the discipline. Right? They would have been humble and have the knowledge to what? To use power. To use power with discretion. So not all Israel is going to have that power. That's going to be the special source with the special people. The special of the special. You remember Men in Black 1? I'm looking for the best of the best of the best of the best. And Will Smith said, and he mocked him and he's the best of the best of the best of the best. But he actually was the best of the best of the best. You know? That's what the elect is. The Bakariam, the chosen.
That's right.
Right? So there's what? There's the 1/3 and the elect, 144,000. The elect is the government. Right? Them is the government. Them is the ruler. They're gonna Esau and Edom gonna be in hardcore slavery for 1,000 years, building our kingdom. Paving the streets of gold, setting silver for stones, taking all these I went to a store. They call it Gem Store in Grand Bazaar today. Right? And they had real emeralds, real jasper, real tiger's eye, they had real jade, and it was costing thousands of dollars. Thousands. I was some little stones, I asked for a little stone, aquamarine, 1,200, 2,500, some little stones. But watch, my little fingernail, that is like $2,500. Because real stuff. That's what we're going to be living amongst in the kingdom. Take to increase our vibration. The Jake like to shine. Right? When you shine and you feel good, your spiritual power increase.
Ben shining.
Yeah, the Ben shining reflection of the sun. Come. You know? So that's the kingdom. Esau is going to take his Masonic as literal architectural skills and they're going to follow it, the plan to the T, and build the kingdom. And after that be cast out and bundle up and burn in the biggest bonfire ever. Yeah. Thus said Yahweh shine. Second Thessalonians 1 verse 6 and Revelations. You can read your precept. Revelations chapter 13 verse 10. Read your precept.
I finish.
You read your precept, then you come back there.
Second Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 6.
Go ahead.
Seeing it is a righteous thing with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
It's a righteous thing, right? Can't be wrong. Let's jump in here real quick. I was reading Sirach 33, so like if moving too fast, right? Sirach 33 verse 11. In much ill knowledge the Lord had divided them and made their ways diverse, separate again. Some of them had he blessed and exalted, some of them had he sanctified and set near himself the nation of Israel. Right? Psalms 147, 19 and 20. Right, that was the separation. He gave us the law, statutes, and commandments. He gave us everything that we need to know to please him and not to do to displease him, to receive judgment. The wages of sin is death. Right? But some of them he had cursed and brought low. Who he cursed? Genesis 4 say what? He cursed of light. For what? When you have red goes into light. When he came out, he saw red and hairy as a garment. Right? Verse 13. Sirach 33 and 13. As clay is in a potter's hand. Who is the potter? Yahweh. Too far. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai created everything through the blueprint of the Father Yahweh. Right? To fashion it at his pleasure. So man is in the hand of him that made him, to render to them as like it best. Good is set against evil and life against death. So they separated. Right? So because of his wickedness which we went through, right? Because of the curse, which is the promise of judgment, which we quoted, right? He's going to receive the judgment of the curse, which we're going to read here now. Because starting with this.
So, this is book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 1. Seeing it is
payment, right? But
them that trouble you.
so what? Yeah, you have a retroactive payment. Retroactive meaning like it's a payment from back from old, right? So I might have worked 5 years and the union negotiate a wage increase because cost of living increased from 5 years ago till now. So I have to get a wage increase. 5 years ago it was $2 to buy a bread. 5 years later is what? $10 to buy a bread. I have to get a difference in wage. I have to get a retroactive payment. Good afternoon. Right? I have to get a payment because all the time I was fighting to pay for that bread. Esau don't feel our pressure. The poor man, because we the slaves. They're the masters. They don't feel our pressure. We feel it. Taxes is for we. Go ahead. The ruling party don't get taxed. There's tax the subjects. So they're gonna get taxed. If they say what is our righteous thing, give me the Revelation 13 verse 10. Yeah.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13 verse 10. And here what it says here. He that leadeth into captivity.
He that leadeth into captivity is shall
go into captivity.
That's right.
And he that kill with the sword must be killed with the sword.
So who? When did that happen? 1498ers. Right? Because everyone has said that the Holocaust is real, right? When did they take the Germans and put them in captivity? When did that happen?
Lying.
Yeah, lying. When did that happen?
Yeah.
The recompense never happened. But you're the chosen people, right? And then all nations must pay a thing. And America's biggest budget is what? It's to pay Israel. So it's lies. It's deceptions.
Yeah.
Come on.
The scriptures not real because it's not added up. Prophecies is supposed to be happening.
That's why they don't regard religion. They don't conquer. And you can see that clearly by reading the Willie Lynch letter. The Willie Lynch letter tell you that set the light against the darker, the house against the field. Any difference it can be accept. You know, they set the Mexicans against the niggers. You know? To bind.
Slavery again.
Come.
Some your partners go slave to play in America, slavery.
Come. Oppression.
A piece of crap.
What?
Obadiah is going and touching back into Barcelona and the most side. It says in Obadiah, right? First epistle and verse 16. It says, no, I started verse 15. For the day of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai is near upon all the heathen.
Upon who?
Upon all the heathen.
Right, the word heathen goes into what? A non-Israelite nation.
That's right.
Right, it's not a bad word, it's just a word that means non-Israelite people.
What?
Right, there are 18 nations, or there are 18 nations on the planet. Right? The head nation, the favorite nation of the Most High is the nation of Israel. Somebody can get that, they can back. Yeah, Sha'ala. They can back that up in 2nd Ezra chapter 6 verse 54.
Right.
Go on down.
2nd Ezra.
This is the truth.
6.
And the Holy Gospel, nothing but the truth.
What? Chapter 6 and verse 54. Scripture reads, it says, and after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures of him.
Yeah.
Come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
Imagine that, right? They love to talk about all these other philosophies. The Bible plagiarized the Sumerians, the Bible plagiarized this one and that one. There was Egypt and there was this and there was that. There was Babylon and there was the position. Look how powerful Adam was, because the first Adam was Yahweh, right? All them nations was like dumbass dogs here. That when Adam came, and he came last, right? He came last. Adam came last, eh? Adam was the one who named every creature. Adam was the one who named everything. So what Adam was doing all the time? They came first. What he was doing all the time? Grunting.
doing non-upright stuff.
Yeah, speaking in lines. You ever see the Sumeric language? The language of Sumeria was what? Cuneiform, which was lines, like a chisel in different angles. So I can imagine how they spoke that. Yeah, you will look it up after. I'll show you after. Cuneiform. That was the language of the Sumerians. You understand? So what was it? Audible language. You can only imagine. Because Adam came and he named all creatures.
Hebrew, a pure language.
Huh?
A pure language. We continue?
Hey, so if he named them, they spoke it.
Yeah.
And so what? If he named them and they spoke it, and the scripture said the whole earth was in one language, where did the language came from?
Yes.
Give me Jeremiah 51 and 20. 51 and 19. Jeremiah 51 and 19.
This book of Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 19. It says, the portion of Jacob is not like them.
The portion of Jacob is not like them. Go ahead.
For he is the former of all things.
For he's the what?
He's the former of all things.
He's the former of what?
All things.
So if he named them, he spoke that. So the whole earth was in what? One language. Go ahead.
It goes on to say, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance.
Israel is the rod of his inheritance, right? So they spoke one language. The scripture said that the whole earth came together to build the Tower of Babel, right? The Tower of Confusion to reach the heavens. The Lord separated the languages. But then it went into, after the separation, the lineage. Eber. Look up Eber. Go to Genesis. And look what the Spirit lead us. Go to Genesis chapter 11, verse 14.
Genesis chapter 11, verse 14. And Salah lived 30 years and begat Eber. Right translation for Eber, right, it says H5677. Right translation, it says Eber. It would be Iba or Iba. Okay. It says Eber or Heber. The region beyond is Hebrew.
It says Hebrew.
God.
That's Hebrew. Right?
God.
So Jacob was the former of all things. The portion is not like them. All praises say Abashim Yahshai. Now this was before Jacob was born. Right? This was before Jacob was literally born. But that is where the Spirit of the Lord was moving. So all glory and honor to Yahweh Shem Yahshai. You see, knowledge is what separates us from these churches, from the mosque and the mandates. You have Jake saying that there's Muslim, there's Islam. Right? A Muslim that I grew up with, I always talk about him. Be message with today, he wants to know if to take the vaccine. If I take the vaccine, if to take it. I Jake. I tell him the truth. I give him the name. When he greet me, I actually greet him. When he greet me this morning, good morning, whatever, I said, how are you going? I said, good after Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Because he just cover the whole and yeah. And Allah we praise and Buddha and all that kind of crap stuff. You understand? Which basically is Aramaic, it's broken down Hebrew. Right? It's a version of Hebrew. Because Assalamu alaikum supposed to go into peace. Shalom. Shalom. You understand? But this peace is the better, but the wicked.
All, as you say, Yahushua, all things start from Adam. So Hebrew, it starts from the first. Everything had to be broken now from this here, from the truth.
That's right.
Yeah, all knowledge. All the great knowledge was dispersed from what? From Israel. Right? I can prove that even furthermore. This is good. Let's go to Genesis again. Right? Good afternoon. And the word Genesis means Barathya. In the headings or the beginnings. Right? Barathya. We might have a little dispute there.
What Genesis what?
Hey, I came here in the video catching a little fun with it. That's an inside joke. So like yeah. Genesis chapter 18. Is it 18? Sorry, Genesis chapter 20. Genesis chapter 20 and start at verse 1. See, I had my mind set on a precept on a chapter that I wanted to go through, but the spirit just carried somewhere there. Somewhere story out, but she was shot. Genesis chapter 20, start at verse 1.
It's the book of Genesis chapter 20 verse 1. It says, and Abraham journeyed from thence toward the south country and dwelled between Kadesh and Shah and sojourned in Gerar.
Go ahead.
And Abraham said unto Sarah, his wife, she is my sister. And Abimelech, king of Gerar, sent and took Sarah. And Yahweh power came to Abimelech in a dream by night, and said unto him, behold, thou art but a dead man, for the woman which thou hast taken, for she is a man's wife.
Go ahead.
But Abimelech had not come near her, and he said, Lord, will thou slay also the righteous nation?
Yeah. Because the Lord, just like how the Lord judge the whole nation of Israel. He don't just judge one man for going off, he judge the whole nation. Yeah, can't. Yeah, can't. He don't judge just one man. It's like when they come, check in the front seat. I have 2 bottles of water there.
Yeah, can't.
Watch yourself there. Yeah. He don't just judge one man. Get it. Yeah, he don't judge one man, he judge a whole nation. You understand? So Abimelech, in a sense, he thought he was just going to deal a bird, a man, a virgin, a damsel. You know, oh gosh, just I will lama, right? A woman of a young woman of marriageable age, right, who was untouched, right? Because when he inquire, because he heard of her beauty, and you know, then he inquired, and he was told that because Sarah and Abraham plotted from before. What he said he said to her, he said, watch, when you go in the land, because of your beauty, I fear that they will want to kill me and take you. So Sarah is your brother, which he ain't lie, because they were brother and sister, they were siblings. You understand? But they were also married. You know? They were married. So continue to read.
It goes on to say in verse 5, said he not unto me, she is my sister, and she herself said, he is my brother.
He is what?
He is my brother.
He is my brother, go ahead.
In the integrity of my heart.
So that's subtlety, because even when they go into Proverbs, they say Proverbs chapter 1 and 1 going down, it says teach what subtlety to the simple. So like to see subtlety, which is to be crafty and to be shrewd. Hey, wasn't David crafty and shrewd when he went into the city or the Philistines and started to play like a madman and spit up on himself and shit? Right? So Abraham, our forefather, was crafty. He was shrewd. He was subtle.
Supplanter.
Supplanter.
Wise man, how be a wise man? Right, a man that was knowledge and understanding that our passion. I'll be a precept real quick. Alright, they say in Psalms, real quick. If the most I want to, you can show it to anybody else, but they can't even harness it. It's only for Jacob. Right? This is Psalms 148. Right? I start 147 and verse 19. It says, he showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
It says he had not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. He is the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Alright, it was ordained for Israel, Yasha Allah, alright, to know the Lord's statutes and commandments of the Most High, which is knowledge, which is wisdom, right, which is life.
That is it.
Right? They get that that, and it's forever. We. Alright? So that all humanity, we hopefully, a part of the hopefully elect. But we got that knowledge of the Yahweh Ba'ashem. Right? They're telling Baruch. Very quick. This is Baruch chapter 4. I'm going to start at verse 2. It says, "Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, and that thou mayest be illuminated." You're going to come to life. You're going to get a light of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yoshai. And our light is ultimately life also. Because in the first heading, 4:1, it says, "This is the book of the commandments of the Most High." The commandments is wisdom, knowledge, and understanding all together.
That's right.
It says, "And the law that endured forever."
Think about it. A command is an order. What the Lord ordering you to do?
Order you to do that. And if the Lord had an order you to do something, the Lord still don't even appear to any and everybody. He appeared to special people. He give special people an understanding to make them set apart. Okay? To give them this year, it says, "All they that keep it shall come to life." You see, all they that keep it shall come to life. Walk upright.
So Rock 17 and 25, "Return unto Yahweh and forsake thy sins. Make thy prayer before his face and offend less. Turn again to the Most High and turn away from iniquity. For he will lead thee out of darkness into the light of health. And and hate thou abomination vehemently. God.
Walk in the light thereof. Most High call us into the marvelous light. Yahweh Shai is the light of the world. You know? This is life.
And we John see that in the book of John said, and the light was the life
of men. John 1 and 4.
You know? So people outside here who coming up against Yahweh Shai and saying, "You want to go through." You know, people, it's clear that you are a vessel made for this honor. Because
Fit for destruction.
You understand prophecy, you understand what the statue of Daniel saw meant, the different kingdoms, the time frame, you know, and up to now, linking up with Revelation, the vision that John get on the Isle Patmos. We know that we live in the time of the miry clay and the iron. We know that we, through faith, is a part of the stone that came and smite it and break it into pieces. You know, we know that the mark of the beast, the MOTB, is the microchip. We know that the chip and the worshipping of the beast is one and the same thing but a different. You know, many people are Christian come up to me just the other day and start talking foolishness. Revelation chapter 13 and it's verse 16 verse 15 when it say them that will worship the beast that should be killed. And he's saying, "Why? So when it started worship?" I say, "Well, I never say worshiping is not part of the mark of the beast, but it's not the mark, the character."
So like you slow it down and bring it back again?
He say, "Why is the mark of the beast?" Because he called me and he feeling guilty because he take the chip, the
vaccine,
the jab,
the jab, vaccine waters.
And so he called me now. He say, "A man with fringes was here." We started talk. He say, "A man with fringes called me and asked me if me and my family take the jab."
So you what? So you trying to, you see?
The conscience started beating.
Ship they say in the last days men shall be mockers and scoffers. Look up that and look up mockers and scoffers. Look up mockers and scoffers and see. You scrutinize them 2 words. Right? Because that's what he's doing right there. Right? From the time he pinpoint that. Because he condemned within himself. Right?
Yeah, that was one thing.
Yeah, he condemned within himself. Right? The scripture, just so there, I'll see if I can get it back. If your conscience bothered you, so like, I'll see if I get it back. Right. Continue with the story, I'm listening.
Yeah, so he was saying that, you know, what I think about the job. I said, "Well, bro," at the end he said, "If I think that is the MOTB," I said, "No, that is not the MOTB, but I said it's associated with the people and them who bringing in the MOTB."
What it is actually the image.
So he tell me, "Go to Revelation 13," and I say, "Well, no problem. I will go to the scripture." So when we go to it now, we tell me, read from verse 15. "And he had caused as many that would not receive the mark and who worship the beast should be killed. And you're like, yeah, now stop on that word worship. I say, alright, I'm stopping at this verse. I said, but when we reach to the next verse, I'm going to stop on the word character, mark. I said, this is what you want me to stop on, and I'm going to stop on the next word. I said, right, yeah, man. So what is it about? Worship. And I said, I never tell you. The beast system is not about worshiping them, but they have a literal mark too. So I said, the mark wasn't a character. He overfly that and going back to worship. Bringing me back to LNG White because it's a 7 days Adventist school. Bringing me back to LNG White and telling me about, I would send you some things to listen to. I say, but with all the respect, I'm not going to listen to what you sending me. I say, I know that the way that I study and how I worship it is pure. I don't, if I have something pure, what reason I have to look into your tainted?
Yeah, because you had to ask him what is the image? What's the image? What's the beast? What's the image?
He know the beast because he called out the 7 heads and the 10 horns. He didn't know what it is. He didn't know the literal countries. He told me it was kings. I said, well, you're right in a sense because these
are rulers. They rule. They have power. They have power.
I say, you're right in a sense, but I say the 7 heads and the 10 horns is the countries that coordinate one.
Right. So the image goes into what? Their likeness. Right. So this is what they say. We need to go into a new world, and in order to go into this new world, we need to have zero carbon emissions. Right, we see Bill Gates come with the Bill Snakes come with the equation, with the equation to reduce CO2 levels, right? Yeah, you can speak.
Because it's just the day me and you was talking about that. The CO2 levels, what you can say is because what we are doing is breathing oxygen, and we breathe out, and the air. Okay.
Yeah.
So part of the plan is deforestation had a stop. Or some say one of them had to come close to zero. Man, some of the factories, the vehicles and things, and the trees or one of them had to come close to zero. And the reason why they say man is because of the constant breathing out the CO2.
Man, it's a bigger trend than the factories and them.
Yeah.
Well, CO2 is not really the heat, right? Well, yes, the heat too. I understand why I'm saying the heat because the heat supposed to melt the polar ice caps, right? So in other words, the boogeyman, because they don't believe in the Bible. They don't believe in the Bible. So when they take the covenant that the Lord made with with Noah, which is the rainbow, because before the rainbow ever existed in Genesis. Either 6 or 7 after the flood, right? I think it was either 7 or 8 after the flood, right? The rainbow never existed. There was no record because Genesis is in the beginning, so it didn't happen before that. Whatever here happened then for the first time. You see? That was what we talk about. The head is the Barayat. I say Barashat. As soon as you come. I get tongue tied. Right? So they take the symbol and they demonize it. Look up the word scoffer from my shop because this is what Esau do. Right? Go ahead.
You know from 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 3 says, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lust.
Walking after their own lust, so that's their own desire, right? Go ahead.
The word this is for scoffer is in the Greek. It says G1703. It says a mocker.
A what?
A mocker.
A mocker.
A scoffer.
A what?
Scoffer.
A scoffer. Go ahead.
It says from strong definition. It says from G1702.
From G1702.
It says a derider.
A what?
A derider.
Go ahead.
That is.
Go into the right.
A false teacher.
A what?
A false teacher.
Go into the root word. Now we have 2 root words, right? It highlights it in blue. A mocker, right there. Go ahead.
So what up? I'm ready going into the deep part of the G1702. It says the phone it says M Ahidzo.
A what?
M Ahidzo.
Go ahead.
It says to play with.
So what?
Play with.
Go ahead.
Trifle with. mock, to delude.
To what?
To delude.
To delude. The delusional, right? That the Yahweh Bashim Yahushai didn't create the heaven and the earth. The Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and the Alahayam didn't create the heaven and the earth. Right? That what? A big bang happened. Some asteroid come and hit Earth, and it's come every some 1,000 million years, and the dinosaurs get thing and turn into fossil fuel and all that assness. Go ahead.
It says to deceive.
Or to what? Or to deceive. Go into the root word again. They have two root words. Not the first one. The first one is in, and the second one is. They have two words highlighted in blue.
G 1722. It says in. It says origin.
No, in. Not the next one.
Right. G38 says 16. It says to play like a child.
To play like a child. And the scripture says children rule over them. That's Esau. Go ahead.
It says to play sport.
So what the man come and tell you? Boy, a man in fringes. Tell me. Going to he playing like a child.
See the man tell him that the job is the Makari.
He playing like a child. He's coughing. He's playing like a child. You know? Let me deal with the facts of the matter. Because you're already condemned. I don't know if you know that scripture in your Apocryphal Act. That if your conscience condemn thee. I saw it there earlier on. The Spirit showed me earlier on. I can't find it back here now. So rock.
Our own heart. And we that one say 9 scripture. For our own heart condemn us.
You can bring that back because
is greater than our heart and we all things.
And there's one in the Apocryphal too.
These people is a bunch of fucking devils. Esau is a devil. In the truest sense of the word. His problem, too much of people on earth find the earth overpopulated. By the overpopulation, causing climate change, causing the ice capsules to melt, all of them things, melting rapidly, the sea getting drastically higher and higher, and that changing the climate on the earth, all of them things. And it's bullshitty on.
His problem is that he stay long to do wrong. He stay long to do wrong because when our forefather Isaac blessed him, he blessed him with the earth and the fatness thereof. So now he's trying to establish that he owns the earth, right? And he wants to enjoy the earth by himself. And he knows now how to do it. He has the technology to do it by solar and solar energy and what do you call it? Wind energy, water energy. They could harness it like through dams, and they have other little devices that once water flow through it, that wave, they can harness a pulse, and from that pulse they can generate energy, right? So zero carbon emission. So the whole thing about it is that in their plan, they had a 7-year plan, which was 2014 to 2017, 2021 Salakia. To initiate the NWO, and then they have what's in the NWO, right? What's in the Georgia Guidestones say what, to reduce the world population down to 500 million. So ultimately, you listen to the reports that I don't want to speak too much on it, but sterilization is in their plan, eugenics is in their plan, which is murdering people, right? You remember that cartoon I had to watch? I was on Netflix. I was telling you about sending the short flick. I can't remember the name of it now. Yeah, but basically the future, what was happening is that the people, they were taken, basically you pointed out that it was adrenochrome they was taken to live, right? But they could not, what they couldn't do, they couldn't reproduce. It was against the law to reproduce. And the crime that the people who was living below the clouds, who was living down on the earth in the derelict city, the crime that they was committing was what, making children. And the police, the police was going on what, killing the children. Because why? They don't want the CO2 levels. He's not telling them what they want to do in the cartoons. You see?
What happened to Monday too? I don't know if you ever see that.
La.
It's actually with seven twins, identical twins, but you could only have one child.
What? Sir? Go ahead, you go ahead, select it.
No, they could only have one child, and this grandfather, his daughter died making 7 twins, 7 babies, and all of them identical, so he trained all of them for every day of the week now. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, he get all of them a day now. And every day, each of them could come out of the house, and when they behind the door, there could be the self. As they come out, use the same person, but it's different people there.
So he deceived them. So he was at Jake.
Very right, yeah. The problem was that they didn't want no other family to have more than one child. And if any family have more than one child, they will come and take your child and say they're putting them in some kind of sleep chamber. They're injecting them with something for them to sleep and putting them in a sleep chamber. And in that sleep chamber, they're showing you on the TV that they go and sleep. But in reality, what they was doing, in the end, two of the twin sisters get to see what they was actually doing. Or one of them get to see is that they was burning each other in their lives, killing each other, every child that they was taken.
So they was giving you an image for you to believe, but in behind closed doors, it's killing, murder.
Yeah.
And so, right. So what I was saying, for example, what happening in real life? China. It happening in real life in China. So you have no reason to doubt that what these devils doing, because the scripture say they say none see it us. They're doing their wickedness and they say none see it us. They're playing outright doing wickedness. You know, that's why in the European nations right now they're not taking this lockdown and they're not taking no Jabberwocky, because they're seeing, everybody's seeing. You have on the local news, you have doctors and pastors and things saying that, hey, we're not taking this enough. Too much people dying. This is an experiment and I don't want to be a part of it. So the rebellion, the sedition is about to happen. The scripture says, 2 Corinthians 15. Right? You know? Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead.
Hey, remind me, Slack, when you're done with your pointer, I want next point.
15 and 16.
Right. These are 1 John 3 and 20. It says, for if our heart condemn us, the Most High is greater than our heart and knoweth all things. Beloved, if our heart condemn us not, then we have confidence for what we decide. I don't know.
I saw it there earlier on. This way showed me the earlier on. I just can't find it back there now. Go ahead.
2 Ezra chapter 15 verse 16.
Right.
For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another.
Yeah, sedition is what? Uprising or going against the government and invading one another. Go ahead.
They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. This is 2 Corinthians, right? Chapter 15. Right? This is 2 Corinthians chapter 15. What is this? Okay, let's see. But they're not new. This how kingdoms fall. It says, verse 4, but when they in their trouble did turn unto Yahweh, power of Israel, and sought him, he was found of them. And in those times there was no peace to him that went out, nor to him that came in, but great vexations were upon all inhabitants of the countries, and nation was destroyed of nation, and city of city, for power or God did vex them with all adversity. And it's the same thing he's doing here now. He's vexing everybody fed up, right? No, there's a guy called I forget this, because he came on this morning. I got him as he came on, as he posted up around 3 o'clock this morning. Something farmer, right? He has been breaking it down. Like I was showing you all, I did a video and I was showing Yasharala, they're spraying
graphene on the crops. And they put in, that graphene has a barcode. Right? And that barcode, they put, as I pop that video, I didn't say a word. I let Esau talk through their science. And Esau talk, and when I just put 3 scriptures, I put the print of 3 scriptures up. And they take me down, they take it down, and they take me off. I can upload for a week. You understand? Right? The graphene of the spraying have a barcode on it. And they can trace, if you eat and defecate, they can trace where your food come from through your faces. Because it's going through your system, and that barcode, man, these people diabolical. Right? I forget what farmer it is, but he said he has to come off the platform. And he leave all the links on the other platforms because he talking plain. He breaking it down. These devils plan. Right? Their plan, their godhood is not just the MOTB. Their godhood is everything. You have no privacy. They're every cell of your body getting information. It's more than taking your temperature. It's more than knowing if you're sick. It's knowing where you eat. It's knowing and controlling everything about you. So when that idiot come up to you and say, if you think that is the MOTB and mocking and scoffing at your fringes, he's mocking and scoffing at Yahweh Shai.
After all that will come down because he
Jeremiah 4:22.
He come down to saying that the MOTB is about worship.
So,
and it's not no physical.
Well, look up the word worship. Look up the word worship. That is Revelation. You can read Jeremiah 4:22. That's Revelation chapter 13 and 15.
It's the book of Jeremiah chapter 4 verse 22. It says, "For my people are foolish, they have not known me."
He's a what? He's a what? 7-day Adventist?
Yep. Yes.
7-day Adventist, right? What is the 7th day? Is the 7th day a day in the calendar, or is the 7th day numbered from the new moon? No. My people are foolish. He has 7-day Adventist and he doesn't even know what the word Advent means. Ask him that. He don't know. He might know. He might know. He might get 1 point.
Or you might not even know. I don't.
Yeah, come. You know, my question. How much Muslims know what Quran mean? How much Muslims know the root word of Quran? Qara. Means a call. They don't. We run the test. The scripture says, "My son, prove all things and hold fast that which is good." Test means to prove. I ask. When I ask, I get, I don't know. I get the wrong answer. Go ahead.
This definition for worship in Revelation 13 and verse 15, it says, kiss.
So what?
Kiss the hand.
No. The scripture in Psalms means what? Say what? I think it's Psalms 2 or Psalms 1. Kiss the son lest he be angry. Psalms 2. Right? Hold on. Let me show you the trick. Oh no, you're not tonight. What you can do is just hold it down there right there, you highlight, and then you hit Google search and you'll get it right there. Kiss means to join. Go ahead.
Psalms 2 and it says, "Kiss the son lest he be angry, and he perish from the way."
And he what? Perish from the way. Right. That is it. Perish from the way. To be profane. Outside the church. Long and short of the story. Right? So what? Worship means to kiss. You join, you come together, you kiss. You touch. The scripture says, "You draw nigh unto me, and I will draw nigh unto you."
So basically, it's saying here also the reverence of the reverence.
Right, yeah, you call it out. Call it out.
Reverence don't mean that you have to kneel down every time. No.
That's why the apostles always say they're looking for the prophets to be in a lotus position, hovering over the ground, going,
What did you went out to see?
a reed shaking in the wind.
Reverence in the beast system is you studying to get a degree. All of that is reverence.
And we make you whole family take because see what they get right. if in the future he was to fall sick or he family, you don't want to put on your brain. So you're trying to make your brain feel good about to make the correct choice, because you say two have this one and two have this next one and one have this one. So you say it's a pillar inside here. All of you have different portion. So I say, well, brother, you're responsible. I say you're responsible for your family, but that way you live is a form of worship.
Are you worshiping the beast? Going to church? Going to fucking pagan houses worshiping the beast? All of that is worshiping the beast. You understand? You all caught up into the system. That is worshiping the beast. That don't mean you have to bow down and pray and then say worshiping together with them 7 days Adventists believe. And when you read Revelation in the law, Exodus 20 and verse 6, it says you shouldn't do nothing, buy nor sell on the what? On the Sabbath day. 7 days. That is why you go back to Revelation. Yeah,
Exodus 20 and verse 6. And shewing mercy unto the 1,000 of them that love him and keep my commandments. Verse 7. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahweh thy power in vain, for Yahweh will not hold him guiltless and take his name in vain. So before I go to the Sabbath, to take his name in vain, because the word name is sham, and it's more than just what you're uttering as to call him now.
That's right.
Right, because name actually go back to monument as well, or signpost. Your name, because it's like, yeah, good day, good night. Right? What you stand for, your name, right? So like if I know that you have a certain, your name is the integrity, right? Your name is the integrity. The word sham, look up the word name, right? Because the word name is sham, right? I can't remember the perfect definition off the top of my head. So let's we have the term on Europe. Let's use it.
It says name, it says before it says Bishon. Or Shon, it says.
Right, name in which one?
In Genesis.
Oh, Shon. Right, so that going to phone, like phone. In the ancient time you had a phonograph. Right, so song. Right, go ahead, go back into it.
It says Python or increase.
Right? So go to the root.
It says the root translation, it says push. Push, it says the spring about.
Right, so this is Genesis. This is different one. This is what we want. We're going to get to Genesis.
A scripture for that is Yahweh saying that everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter to the kingdom. Showing you that our name is not all. The name you say it's not all. It's about sincerity, you know.
Because then he had to condemn then he had to condemn because he said when he take the potion, he went and take some aspirin just in case, because he's a big fat cow. So he know.
So see blood clots coming.
Can he know that if it is a possibility that it really is a wickedness I'm going to do here, because our mortgage paid, as a teacher, my wife is a teacher, we cannot lose my job. Let me put my life on the line, but just in case, let me take some aspirin. All you know.
You have a plan B.
The
elect most high. I want to get that scripture in here. I'll get it in your pocket for after. What?
Right, this is the definition for name. It says Shem or Sham. And right, it says name.
So that goes to show. The next one in Genesis, name, when Adam was naming, he was making the song. Phone. However it is, that's his song. Phone. Right. Right? But this one here, he's saying Sham. So Sham have a different definition. Go ahead.
It says name.
So it's not talking about just saying Yahweh, but Hashem Yahweh Shai. We're talking about what he represents. What you going to say? What? Name what?
Reputation.
His what? Reputation. His reputation will go into his what? Integrity. Go ahead.
If I may say character also.
His character again, come on. If you had the internet or the going to it, you will have extrapolate through the dictionary and synonyms. Go ahead. And that's a good lesson right there. We can expound on that after. Yeah.
It says fame, glory, the name as
fame, glory. That's why what? The giants, The giants were what? Renowned men. They were famous. And we always draw an example of what? Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson. Right? Michael is what? Like God? Is like God, right? Michael Allah. Is like God or as God? Michael Allah.
He was like God.
He who is like God. Allah.
God-like. God-like.
Yeah, so it come with what? Power. Right? Michael Jackson was a power in the studio, on the mic, on the stage. Michael Jordan was a power on the court. Michael Johnson was a powerful runner. He used to look like a freaking horse. And you know, look up Michael Johnson. He used to run for the US 100, 200 and 400 team track. Yeah. He was just about the time. Yeah, he was just about the time Atto Boland. Yeah, God, Michael Johnson. Yeah, golden boots, yeah. God, power, boy. Hey, they know man, them men live and fulfill the name, quality, boy.
So the designation of
Des
Yahweh.
what designation? Going to the root. Blue.
Next blue, right? It says some, Siam, it says some. To put, place, set, point, to make, qual. It says to put, set, lay, put or lay down, lay upon, lay violent hands on, set, direct towards, to extend, compassion, to figuratively, to set or ordain, establish, found, appoint, constitute, make, determine, fix, set, station, put, set in peace, set in place, plant, fix to make for, transform, into, constitute, fashion.
You know why I get out of that? Your name. Like when they say your word is gone, for your name go back to your integrity, your reputation, and it put. That's who he is. If I know that you have an eager, genuine spirit, that's who you. It's set. That's who you are. Your name is who you are. Right? It's set. Right? So if somebody come and say otherwise, I'm not gonna believe that because that's not who you are.
Yeah, bringing down my name.
Yeah, bringing down my name.
Bringing down my character.
Yeah. The Lord said what? A good name is above what?
Name is better than precious.
These are Ecclesiastes 7 and 1. A good name is better than precious ointment.
Can't.
The day of one that than the day of one's boot.
That's right. You can bring down my name. There is something like punishable like that. Blasphemy most high name.
Tail bearing. That's the law. Tail bearing.
Punishable like that. Blasphemy against the Heavenly Father and the Holy Spirit. Punishable like that. Remember that.
Look at the first one. The first one. It says, no.
Genesis?
Yeah, the first one.
Oh, the first part of the name.
Yeah, the first part of the
Where was good?
Sham.
Right? It says name, reputation.
Right, reputation and love. And that is why the character, his reputation was up. So calling the name of the Lord is not it. You have to call on the name of the Lord to honor his reputation, what he stands for. You understand? Honor his reputation. That's what we just do.
Because what? That goes into what? That when you do that, then it's when you become Sion or Zion. That monument, that signpost. You read the precept and somebody just line up Romans 8, 29, 28 and 29.
Philippians 1 and 17 it says, for the order of love, knowing that I am set for the defense of the gospel. Because we defending Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua's reputation. We defending not just Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua, but we stand for. That's what we are right here. We defending his character. We defending his name, which is righteousness. True righteousness, that's why we come outside here.
It says fame, glory.
Right, the fame of the Lord, we defending that. The acts that he did in Egypt, we come out here and say that it was factual.
That's right.
We say it was true and we defend it. The word defense comes from Greek word apologia. That's why book up and them just say they are apologists and all that. But them don't defend the name of the Lord, them don't defend the reputation. I have a Hashem, I will show the power of Israel.
Can never be doing that.
Can't.
Because you have a doctrine of supersessionism.
Can't.
The scripture say he that take it away or add it to the Lord will take away his out of the book of life. You see? That's what they're doing, they're transgressing the law. So they're definitely in it, man. And what? When we say that, we say that in righteous judgment. Because when they scrutinize, what scrutinize also means to prove or to test. When they scrutinize their works, it is in transgression of the word. You see?
The line on the most I need.
Romans 8:28.
This is the book of Romans chapter 8 verse 28. And we know that all things work together for the good of them that love Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, to them who are called according to his purpose. For whom did he foreknew, he also did predestinate to be conformed to his image of his son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren.
So now, whom he did foreknow, he did predestinate to what?
To be conformed.
To be conformed
To the image of his son.
To change, look up that word conform. Romans 8:29. Look up the word conform. Yeah?
Romans 8 verse 29. The word conform.
Wow. That keeps us very shitty.
Yeah, very shitty. Conform, right translation is some more force. Some more force. In Greek, it says having the same form as another.
Having the what?
Same form as another.
Having the same form of another. So going back to the argument of what is the mark of the beast? Right? Or what is the image of the beast? When you take anything that the beast has to offer, you conforming to the beast. You worshiping the beast. You kissing the beast. You're joining yourself to the beast. Give me Ezekiel 13. Baba Kosha.
Say what you take anything it's a law. It's Exodus 23:8. It says, and thou shalt take no gift, for the gift blinded the wise and perverted the words of the righteous.
Wow. I bring on that precept just earlier on today. Something Makazan.
Alright, up on that bus, fresh oil. Fresh oil. I know this my head with oil.
What? A cup running over. Come on. Yappa. Ezekiel 13 and start at verse 3.
Ezekiel 13 and verse 3. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, woe unto the foolish prophets that follow their own spirit and have seen nothing.
They have seen nothing because what? Aforetime, when our man went to inquire of the Lord, right? They went to the what? Toward the seer. Because a seer, what is now known as a prophet, was called what? A seer. So what? The Lord used to what? The Lord speak through what? Right? That's the mouthpiece, but he also get the what? Visions and similitude. There's nothing new under the sun. Right? Read it over again.
Ezekiel chapter 13 verse 3.
They don't see no danger, so they're not blowing the trumpet.
You can see.
For the eyesight.
Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh,
Be watching us strange. He riding a bike in a tight fucking nuts on one side. Be watching us strange. What?
There's woe unto the foolish prophets that follow their own spirit and have seen nothing.
What?
O Israel, my prophets are like the foxes in the desert.
Yeah, they sly. They're crafty. Go ahead.
You have not gone up.
You have not gone up
into the gaps
where the chief concourse, on the highways and the byways, on the hedges, right? In the city, in the streets. They're not seen. Boko Malone only being seen to scoff, and he doesn't even have the truth. Because his whole mission is to what? Debunk the gospel. His mission is not to edify and not to save nobody. His mission is to debunk, because what? What if these men are true? What if these men are the prophets of the Lord, which we are, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, because there's nobody else doing this work. But what? We still hopefully lack in humility. You understand? Because the other Israelite camps, they're not in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. They're not in the reputation of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. They're not bold, because in order to be bold, you have to have the truth. And we have 100% truth.
Right.
If I lie, prove me wrong. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Don't even prove me wrong. Prove Yahweh Hashem Yahushua wrong. Because we come in what? The volume of the book, Isaiah 8 and 20. You better reading the descriptions or the definitions of the word out of the Bible. Go ahead. Esau compiled it. Esau did the research. The damn archaeologist was who? Esau. If they had any other nation there, they were slaves, they were indentured laborers, they were laborers working for Esau to dig. And then Esau would come and take records, and then they would who knows even if the language is that what they put it now. But we know through the spirit that it's true. Right? They come and they distort and they give us Yiddish. And say that's the Hebrew Elohim. Elohim. Alahayim. You see the confusion? You have Elam, church in Cape. Elam. No, it have Elam. Jesus Elam. Yeah, Jesus Elam. Where we preach what up in the back of our castle. Jesus Elam.
Jesus Elam.
What?
The name Elam in the Bible.
I just put Give me Jeremiah 49 real quick. Give me Jeremiah 49. Jeremiah, Jeremiah 49. Jeremiah 49 and 34.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, verse 34. It says, the word of the Lord that cometh to Jeremiah, the prophet, against Elam.
Against who?
Against Elam.
Against Elam. Go ahead. Oh gosh, Ghanaian, I'm going dead tonight.
In the beginning of the region.
In the beginning of the what?
Of the region.
Go ahead.
No, reign.
In the beginning of the reign.
Reign of Zedekiah, king of Judah, saying, Thus said the Lord of hosts, behold, I will break the bow of Elam.
You will break the bow, which represents your strength. Right? Because you remember, they had the ancient Medo-Persian Empire. Right? We was underneath what the Medes, and the Persians is who we call East Indians today. Right? The modern day Iranians are the original Persians. Right? But these East Indians are Persians, and also the Pakistani are Persians. Right? Which other Israelite camp teaching these things? Go ahead. Which Christian church teaching these things? Which mosque teaching these things? Which mandir? Which Buddhist temple teaching these things? A helicopter or plane. I see it. A helicopter or plane. Yeah. Chairs don't move like that. But someone come up.
Well, verse 36 it says, and upon Elam will I bring the four winds from the four corners of heaven.
He'll bring the what?
The four winds from the four quarters of heaven.
You know, the Lord hold back the four winds in Revelation. So that's what the destruction. Well,
and will scatter them towards all these winds, and there shall be no nation whether the outcast of Elam shall not come.
Well,
for I will cause Elam to be dismayed before their enemies, and before them that seek their life. It goes on to say, and I will bring evil upon them, even my fierce anger, said the Lord, and I will send the sword after them until I have consumed them.
So he had consumed them. So Elam have a promise of judgment. You understand? So you have confusion in the English language. Jesus Elam. So they actually put the title of destruction upon this earth because Jesus had no damn meaning. But Elam is cursed as well.
That's right.
Oh. What were you reading before?
Ezekiel 13 and verse 3.
Go ahead.
Verse 4. Now verse 5 it says, ye have not gone up into the gaps, neither made up the hedge.
Yeah, the hedge is what the protection. No, we grew up hearing fairy tales and nursery rhymes and things about good night, about guardian angels. But truth and in fact, we all have guardian angels. That's what Psalms 34? Is it 34?
Psalms 34.
Yeah.
Psalms 34 and 7.
Huh?
I got one of them. When you Psalms 34, look at Psalm chapter 34 and 7. Says the angel of the Lord encampeth round about them that fear him.
Right, so we have guardian angels. Right? And that's the hedge. Look up the word hedge.
Right here, hedge is 1447. Right, 1447 it says garden.
So what?
No translation is gado or gada.
Uh-huh.
It says fence or wall.
Fence or wall.
When strong it says to wall up, wall off, to close off, build a wall. Right, the wall up.
When you go back into the Exodus, the chariot was a pillar of fire by night and a cloud by day that kept the camp of the Egyptians at bay from the camp of Israelites. The fence or the wall.
Fence.
Yeah.
Defense.
Defense. Go to Isaiah 31 and 5. Isaiah 31 and 5. I just say that.
Right. Isaiah 31. Right, you see this today.
Huh?
You see that today?
Want to see a chariot today?
No. That's how you're going to read the birds and
Yeah, come on.
fly. Let me see how much birds are.
Isaiah 31 verse 5. As birds flying, so will the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua defend Jerusalem.
Well, he's going to defend Jerusalem with the angels.
Defending, also will he deliver it.
Also will he deliver. So the same, he saw have the tanks. When it was Suicide Squad, they had the helos, that's the helicopter that was coming to deliver them on the roof when they went on they capture, what's she name? The black woman who was the boss.
Yeah.
I forgot her name, boy. Right? But she was when they was recruiting them and they get them the suits and they get them the weapons, right? What the man do? He come and he stand up in front of all of them. That is agent oh gosh, the commander, the general, or whatever his name. Who wife was the witch? You know what Suicide Squad, right? What she come and do? He come and he put that in front of her. He put an iPad in front of them, or a tablet in front of them, and he say, "Behold God," because she had put a chip in their neck, and anybody who disobey should blow off their head. So the first person head that was get blown off. Also, all the tribes that was there, it was God.
Oh yeah,
God. God, like he rebelled and he started shoot and like to escape and go up a building and she pop off God's head. What happened when he saw touchdown from when he leave England? He leave Britain and went to America. Who the trouble first? He saw trouble God and Reuben. Right? And then after they bring Judah and Benjamin and Levi. And it also was troubling the other nations, right? The other 10 tribes when it was coming up. That's why the Aztec and the Mayans and them get killed out. You see? He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with his sword must be killed with his sword. Right? That is the patience and the faith of the saint. He's just a damn devil. And they still making mockery right in front of your face. Suicide squad. So Esau saying there's a suicide. Come up. Disobey we and there's a suicide. They have guillotines prepared. They have body bags. They have the what? You Jabberwocky. You Jabberwocky there. Yeah? Go ahead.
You know it says also he will deliver it, passing over, he will preserve it.
He will preserve it. Come. They that what? The remnant are going to be saved. And when you say the remnant going to be saved. Right? And then they're going to be renewed. So if they say he that wait upon me shall mount upon what? Eagle's wings. Right. Chariots. This gospel is sweet. And it's bitter at the same time. But not every man had the grit to make it to the end. Because knowledge is the endurance. Understanding is the power.
So you look at Acts chapter 1 and starting
understanding is the confidence. Yeah?
Starting from verse 9. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight.
See that man? That man make my neighbor die. My neighbor, he had a Benz, right? He had a Benz, an old Benz. My neighbor was a straight man painter. Had no floor. You know what I'm talking about? No floor. It was like a Flintstones car. You go in the car and your foot going on the ground. Yeah. My neighbor big back patch, fix back that whole thing. Ultimately, it was Yahweh. I say there's a man, a so-called man of God, right? He do that work for him. Man charge him a certain amount of money. Not many tradesmen could do the work. I worked very hard. He did the work, build the car, rebuild the car, give him back the car. He didn't see the cigarette lighter in the car. My neighbor was owing mortgage, lights, all kind of things. Didn't see the cigarette lighter in the car and didn't pay the man. He was asking, he was begging, he was borrowing to survive while he was doing the work. When he come in the night to get the car, I mean taking the car because he didn't see the cigarette lighter in the slot and he couldn't find it. The man got struck the night and died. That was part of his color, part of his demand. That is a man of God. Where the mercy, where the compassion, where the pain, where the pity. That is men of God. That is men of understanding. What was going into? What's the word?
When Yahweh was taken up from them, because the same man, I'm going to receive and we're not talking about as a
Acts chapter 1, you can't.
You can't.
So what you should extrapolate out of that, bring the precept. Because remember we're talking about the hedge, which is the guardian angels. The hedge, yeah, that's the word, hedge.
So the two men, the two heads,
no, Ezekiel 30.
Two heads were standing there. And why they look steadfastly towards heaven.
So like you're bringing back from the top?
God. Acts chapter 1, verse 9 going on. It says, and when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. A cloud received him.
But you know the word cloud, because you should say he making his clouds as what? Chariots. Right? The cloud is the chariots of Yahweh, which is the vehicles of Israel. Right? So like there's a series on social media called Supercar Blondie. Right? She goes around all the exotic supercars in the world she checks out. Right? And put them on expose, right? Where is it? I don't find so well. Go ahead. she classy, but I don't find she has any kind of body. That's my opinion. Right. She ain't no Megan Fox to me. She's a stunner. She was a stunner because she ultimately is a slaughter run down now, but yeah. Yeah. So the exotic vehicles of the nations, she put them on expose, right? But I keep her shitty. I always feel like Elam. Well, he had no skill. Yeah, but the vehicles of Israel is the chariots, right? They are the chariots. Right? Continue to read, because what I want to bring out is that the Lord is coming back with his power and his glory, and they're also the glory. There's the glory of Yahweh, his strength. They represent power and they represent strength. You understand? But
verse 10. And while they looked steadfastly towards heaven, as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing into heaven? This same Yahweh, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall come in like manner. Right?
Read Revelation 1 and 7. Revelation 1 and 7.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 7.
Why?
And it says, Behold, he cometh with the clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen.
Even so, amen. So that we come with his. There's also a next chapter that talks about he coming with his power and with his glory. You understand? And that's the chariots.
Yeah,
part of the power and the glory is the chariots, the missiles, and the elect. Because he said, with thee are going to break in pieces, like Jeremiah 51:20 going down. Right? So we are all part of the power and the glory of Yahweh. We're going to be glorified for our faith. Our brothers are we the elect. What's it? It's the tree. Yeah, the Lord put that tree to save you, boy.
It's in Acts, a cloud, one cloud.
Fathership.
Right, take him. It's in Revelation. You only cometh with clouds.
Shuttle ships.
Clouds. Many.
Oh, the apostle break it down, the shuttle ships coming up back. I can't remember that Revelation 11. I can't remember that.
It's a cloud you see. They ascended up to heaven in a cloud. So the elect going to be in one ship, but it's going to have a lot of different ships. But might come out of that one ship.
And that would have shown Independence Day 1. That would have shown Independence Day 1.
Them set of ships is the thousands, the tens and thousands, thousands.
Yeah.
It may very well just come out of one ship. That's
not me. That is what's happening.
Done.
That's the word, man.
Bishop 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, and the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
The words out of the mouth is the prophets. The prophets consuming this devil and kingdom. He chanted on Babylon. Watch it. Men walk around us for 7 days. They walked around us for 7 days back in the past. And a wall fall down just by chanting it all. And on the 7th day, they walk around it once every day for 6 days, and on the 7th day they walk around it 7 times. So coming down to the end, the work had increased. That's what I'm showing you. Coming down to the end, the work had increased. That is why men had to get on fire, doing the work, doing the videos outside.
You can't even keep up. Yeah, I can't even keep up.
Can't even keep up. Because between the end and the Lord consuming this man with the spirit and mouth. No. Just as the Lord did in Jericho. And then we've got brightness of the coming boys are the chariots. The chariots are Asherah, Psalms, Jude 1 and 14.
I have one with the bright, with the chariot as the brightness. This is just had it here. Right, this is Psalms chapter 68 and verse 13. Though ye have lining among the pots, Yet shall he be as wings of a dove covered with silver and with feathers of yellow gold.
That is what chariot. He said, though he have lying among the pots. Pots is these different nations, these different melting pots. Alright? So what is a melting pot? A melting pot is
Like that where you use to melt the gold to pour it into the cast. Just heat it up. Yeah, a crucible, I think they call it.
And that is these different, that is our country with different nations and ethnicities in it.
So they call it what? Call America the cauldron, which basically is like the same thing.
Same thing. So though you have lying among the pots, they're talking about the Israelites. We lying among the pots, these different countries. They say, yet shall he be as a dove covered with silver and the feathers with yellow gold like the chariots.
Ooh, shining in its glory. And they have records now. There are videos on YouTube showing you that some gold, some silver, some black, some shit. Go ahead.
Silver and gold.
Silver and gold.
Silver and gold illuminating like a rainbow.
Correct. This is Isaiah chapter 1 verse 19. The burden of Egypt. Another name for Babylon. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence. The heart of the Egyptian shall melt in the midst of it.
1952 when they saw 12 chariots circling the White House.
Yeah, the chariots circling the White House and the Pentagon just most recently this year. When they started to do the what do you call it? When they disclose what they was calling it, boy, when they started to disclose, they started to reveal now about the UFOs. When they make the big announcement that the Pentagon started talk about the UFOs, they couldn't help but because what they had only they said have records. You can just Google that chariots or UFOs around the or UAPs around the White House and the Pentagon this year, 2021.
Most I showing himself that he saw, he getting him frightened. Like why he moving at all the speed. But you don't get him frightened. Back then, as I say in 1952, they didn't have them kind of technology. But all of them just circle the White House over the White House. And he's so terrified for your life. You want to know what the fuck is these things? Is it Russian intelligence? Is it Chinese?
Nah.
That's what I say.
But the elites know, as the Heavenly Father.
Elites know. Them know. Them fucking know.
Yeah, and what proved that when this devil who died the other day, Prince Henry, they had a report with him when he with him talking to the Navy now. When the thing that you had one that was over airport, over Heathrow, I think it was. He just posted up over Heathrow, and he was calling mama like the president, she's commander-in-chief in Trinidad, right? So like Trump, he's commander-in-chief, or Biden, he's commander-in-chief across there.
Right.
So like Prince, whatever his name was, who died, he was commander-in-chief, and he was like real calm. Everybody else was bumming and he's real calm. He's like, yeah, don't study that thing, whatever. Because they had that documentary. I think I can't remember if it was BBC or whatever, where they breaking it down and they actually had him speaking and he was real calm. He know. You know.
Why is that on Daniel? Them know everything. I believe them fuckers in everything. Yeah. Except they know how to be safe. They don't know that. There was a program with that. That is submission, they're proud. Go on.
More proud. The ship they call Esau most proud. Thou had most proud.
Edomites know. They search it out. Them know it. Them fucking know. Them know who they went for in West Coast Africa. Them know. They know that thief.
You know what they know? They know why they're just dropping bombs in the Mariana Trench and in the Bermuda Triangle. They know that the Leviathan down there and he coming. They know. They have records of sonic waves or sound from in the deep. They know. These devils know that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
watching amazing.
Before we go into that, the Leviathan, let me get this. Psalm 68 and 17. The chariots of Yahweh are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place.
20,000. Imagine seeing that. 20,000 people in the sky. And I want big one where you can't even see the end of the beginning.
And imagine knowing that they are against you.
Elaborate and say you're about to shit your pants. Shit and pee, everything in one riding.
Shit your
big
motherfucking pants.
Defecation and all your pants.
Yeah.
Ask me now and see what them man that you feel the
Yeah.
Like the girl who shoots herself after getting one headshot.
Yeah.
I was breaking up with you one time.
Ooh, I have the angels. Well, I want to hear how much angels. This is Revelation chapter 5 and verse 11. Because you remember, let me read it over again in Psalms, right? Psalm 68 and 17. The chariots of the Lord are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place. Right? It says Revelation 5 and 11. And I beheld, and I heard the voice of many angels round about the throne, and the beasts and the elders, and the number of them was 10,000 times 10,000, and a thousands of thousands. He said, all you fucked. The nations, all you fucked. All you fucked to the cross, boy. All you staked.
In a movie I watched, and he saw had some physicists, and he was trying to make them increase the weapons, and everyone who failed to make up a better weapon, he was killing them. I feel that way doing now with his hand. He's so vexed, and he know what coming.
Yeah.
If a man close to getting a breakthrough and he do shit, you'll kill him. Until I tell you next scientist will come up, you better get correct.
Yeah. Because I have so much videos coming out. I don't know if I showed it. I was watching that one, the documentary on a woman who was the first woman to be the first woman in the CIA. And she's breaking down the inner workings of the CIA. I don't know if I said it. Hopefully I said it on the phone. Yeah, so I'll just share it with all you. I wanted to extrapolate and do the video first, but nevertheless. You know?
Hey.
He saw doing real things. She said she was like first terrified, found it was ethically wrong. Then she started to enjoy it, find it was the most exciting job, and then she leave it. But she found it was going overboard. Because they're not. That's my van, yeah. And I know better now because I normally park down there. But nevertheless. You live on the road. Yeah. Go ahead, sit up here.
We step here, concerning angels.
Yeah, for
Ezekiel
real.
1, I start at verse 4. It says, and I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself. And a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber.
As the color of what?
Amber.
Yeah, that's the brightness again. Fire, amber is fire. Yeah.
It says, out of the midst of the fire, also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures. And this was their appearance. It says, they had the likeness of a man. And every one had 4 faces, and every one had 4 wings. And their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot. And they sparkled like the color of burnished brass.
The angels had on like shoes like ninja boots, like cleft toes of a camel or a cow. Understand?
It says, and they had the hands of a man under their wings,
Come.
on their 4 sides, and they 4 had the faces, and they 4 and had.
But you're going into the angels now. Sure.
Can.
Yeah.
And therefore had their faces and their wings. Their wings were joined one to another, They turned not when they went everyone straight forward. As for the likeness of their faces, they four had the face of a man, and the face of a lion on the right side. And they four had the face of an ox on the left side. They four also had the face of an eagle. Thus were the faces, and their wings were stretched upward. 2 wings of everyone were joined one to another, and 2 covered their bodies. Basically, you see them thing, you know. See, basically, try to say envision that. You're gonna bubble. You're gonna be in fear.
Most I all out. Most I all out. All out. You don't know it. Most I all out.
Mystery way out there.
That my experience. You don't get into all of that.
Powerful. That's a powerful being. Most I say your thought is not his thought.
That's why people say it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the Most High. And the conclusion of the whole matter is just respect your ways. That's so hard to do. It is proven that all the Most High ways is beneficial to your well-being. No man on earth can ever prove that every ordinance or any ordinance that you have different is non-beneficial. Most I tell you, sexual misconduct is non-beneficial to your body. It really is. Eating habits that alter what he said is not beneficial. Everything is true and just. So that when you follow that, we expect to fall into the rut. Because you know, going up against order and perfection, any man who dwelling with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding on the left or on the right doesn't like when you defy the orders. Esau don't like when a man defy the orders, neither the man on the Lord doesn't like when people defy the Most High orders.
I'm going to say something so precious as Lord, like knowledge you have. Not everybody knows what they eat, and we say for pork, for instance, swine. Some of you love swine, but you all know that swine really killing you. The Most I actually give Israel them laws.
That's right.
Don't do that, because this is what I'm telling you. Don't do this, he never give the rest of them. Right. So we have to cherish that and try your best to keep that. Hey, keep that. No? It's a blessing. To walk upright.
There's Isaiah 28 and 21. For the Lord shall rise up as in Mount Perazim. He shall be wrought as in the valley of Gibeon, that he may do his work, his strange work, and bring to pass his act, his strange act. Now therefore be ye not mockers, lest your bands be made strong. For I have heard from the Lord power of hosts, a consumption even determined upon the whole earth. So what's the strange work? The chariots coming, the UFOs.
That's right.
Each one make you believe it's aliens. President Bush, President Nixon, President Clinton, President Obama. You understand? It says, verse 23, give ear and hear my voice, hearken and hear my speech. You see? Right.
I see Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 verse 2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
Yeah, so the strange work is UFOs. That's how you're going to be delivered out of it. Up and away.
That's right.
Yeah.
It says so far.
What?
Oh,
What? Up and away. What? What happen when we come back? What happen when the elect come back? What happen when the elect come back? You know, Jacob away to say, even on you, I coming back, boy. Don't let me see when I come back. Watch out. Go ahead.
It says so far beyond all that they looked for.
So far beyond all what they look for. They're not looking for Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. I don't even know what they're looking for. But already, could that Christian sorry about the white Jesus come or what they hey Jehovah Witness have you believe is some gold cities, some gold Empire State buildings and Buckingham Palaces and things coming down and people inside of them. You understand? That what Jehovah Witness is looking for. And red and yellow, black and white, they're precious in their sight. Little Moabite children, little Scandinavian children, little Hamite children.
One G.
Yeah. One good Uncle Tom.
Yeah. In the background.
In the back, peeping over her shoulder. Or between her leg. Look back here!
Yeah.
Still.
One versus one. He saw about 2,000 Edomites.
Filipinos. Vietnamese.
Yeah. No
Hawaiians. Huh?
No Mexicans.
No Mexicans.
No Ephraimites. No Puerto Ricans. One Negro. And that is it. That is the people of the kingdom. Get the fuck out of here. That's it.
Right here.
People of the kingdom is us.
Right.
So-called Negroes, the Latinos, the Native American Indians. That is the people of the kingdom. And guess what? No Edomite looking person in one video. No Filipino person in one looking person in one video. None of them one. One hardly look like this because all the Israel going about the original look in the kingdom.
You can imagine a slave girl we just walking the streets like just walking the market. Walking a slave just walk out. You can imagine how Jake will flip on that.
It's like scenario our dog.
It's like the dog called Ridgeback. And when he get vexed, he hear any back that's just raise up. All Jake will be like that. Like, what going on here? Nigga, you lost. Nah. Let me carry back to your rightful place. With licks. With stripes.
Book of Jude. Chapter 1 and 14. It says, and Enoch also the seventh from Adam prophesied of these, saying, behold, the Lord cometh with 10,000s of his saints to execute judgment upon all, and to convince all that are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds, which they have ungodly committed, and of all their hard speeches, which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. Yeah, the angels are the Lord. 10,000s are his saints. Alright? Like when you are now reading Psalm 68, you say chariot. You say the chariots of the Lord are 10,000, 20,000 of angels. The Lord is among them as a sign in the holy place. And look at that word Lord, there is one uppercase L and three lowercase other letters, which is Yahweh Shai.
Sure.
You see like that Yahweh Shai talking about. So Yahweh Shai going to be among them.
With the brethren.
The brethren, yeah. Like we say, Yahweh Shai going to be among them.
Yeah, we have to the battery dying real quick. Right, then as I'm speaking, now drop 7, so we're gonna cut off there just now. So you read it and we'll close out.
2 Edges 13 verse 3. And I looked, and I beheld, and lo, that man walked strong with the thousands of heaven.
Come on.
And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that was seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice.
All they what?
All they burned that heard his voice.
They burned that heard his voice.
So it's like as the earth faileth when it fleeth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he had graven himself.
He had graven himself what?
A great mountain.
Fathership, a big ass mountain, a big ass chariot, sorry.
And flew upon it.
And Esau saw the chariot a couple of years ago. We saw the chariot. It was on Dabu 7, it was on Marie Colville Hill, right? Talk quick. I talking. Yeah, the big wheel. Oh, yeah, 2 times the size of Earth. It was a wheel. Yeah. Right. So I came. We would have liked to been longer. I would have liked to go to the Leviathan, but Spirit of it is battery about to die like any minute now. So we'll close up. Give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Kakodash. God bless us, apostles and elders, great men, so and citation to elect brethren. Doing this work, it's sincerity and in truth. Alright, Mawat Lababal, Abad Babal, GTA, Shalom. Shalom to the Akia, man.